Rev up your engines! Nissan Rogue, how the heck did they sell 2.2 million of these? Now, some of them had engine problems, some of them had transmission problems. They all have this stupid blend door problem because the plastic was made too cheap. But they did sell 2.2 million of these things. Now, they're nice looking, you know, a little SUV. Pretty much they all look the same. Hey, it could be a Mercedes-Benz these days. You can't really tell the difference. This is a low-end one. As you can see, that's plastic. It's just steel wheels, so you save money building them. And as far as I'm concerned, that's the crux of the matter. The way they sell these is they cost less. I looked at pricing. If you want to buy a brand new one of these around here, around $30,000, give or take $2,000. The cheapest RAV4 I could find around here was about $41,000. Okay? So, you're talking about $11,000. Now, this has pretty much the same space as a RAV4. Quality-wise, no, of course, the RAV4 is much better made. People often think about price. I mean, you go 10, 20, 30, then 41. Okay, it's a big differential, right? You can buy a lot of hot dogs and beer for $11,000. It comes down to that, right? And that's what it often comes down to. Because many people aren't like me. They don't know all about the cars, the history of them, what's good and what's bad. And they see, hey, I'll try one of these. Now, this particular one is a 2017. Now, this particular Rogue was made in Korea, and it was manufactured by Renault Samsung Motors. It's got a K on the VIN number, so that means it was made in Korea. And watch this. Watch what happens when you close the door. The whole thing flexes. It's so cheaply made. And if you know anything about the debacle of Nissan, Renault, and Mitsubishi, that was like the second three stooges of car manufacturing. They had all kinds of problems. They were buying in each other, but then Renault sold the Nissan stock, and then the whole time that lunatic Carlos Ghosn, who was the head of Nissan, hid himself in a box and mailed himself, I guess, to Lebanon, because the Japanese were trying to put him in jail. There was a lot of mistakes made. So I'll just kind of generally take a look over and we'll listen to that tinny door. Boing. Oh, we're starting her up. Sounds like a Nissan. Now the interior is still decent shape. Seats have held up. They're a combination of different fabrics that have held up quite well. And there's a lot of room in the back. Now this baby's got 100,074 miles on it. Paddle shifters, but you can put it over here and you can shift this way. You can see you push it up and down to shift. You can see it's flashing one. It's in first gear. We go down. We can't do anything yet because it's not moving. Once it's moving, we can put it in the other gears if you want to shift it manually. Most people just leave it and drive. And realize this does have a CVT transmission, an infamous crappy Jatco CVT transmission, so it's not really shifting anyways. We'll see how it goes when we road test it. So you can see they have a relationship. Look, you got Hyundai, Nissan, Renault, and Samsung, and this one was a Renault Samsung one that said on the sticker, so it is a Nissan though. And we'll do a standalone diagnostic. We read the VIN number, and here we go. Let's check out the engine. And yes, it's a Nissan, so it's finding problems. Alrighty then, here we go. How many problems did it find? 4. First, the ABS system. It lost communication, and the brake booster had a problem in the past. Okay, it's not on now, but that's typical with the morons that fix cars these days, because somebody worked on this car and they didn't reset anything, so I'll reset it. And the airbag had occupant sensor unit undefined. Maybe it didn't know who was sitting there. It's another one that was in the past. Air pressure monitor had low pressure. That was in the past. These are all past codes, so we'll just erase them all. And we'll start it up, and we'll look at some live data here. And here we go. Remember, black is good, red is bad. Let's see what shape this thing is in. Injector pulse, a little vacillation, not outrageous. We'll look at the mass airflow. Okay, that probably needs cleaning because it's showing 3.9, 4.29. This is a 2.5 liter engine, so that's too high. It should be more like 2.5, but hey, it's a Nissan, what can I say? Air fuel, it's subtracting just a little bit. It's not bad. It's just running a little bit rich. Probably needs cleaning. Like I say, see, it knows it's running rich. It's showing rich the whole time. So it's running a little bit rich, I would say. Some of Bernie's cleaner would probably help this thing. Let's go back This is one of those CVTs, so let's look at some tranny data. Nothing red, everything looks okay. Nothing's out of the normal. Let's see how it shifts. Now that it's got over 100,000 miles on it, so we'll take it for a spin. Here it shakes a little. It's a Nissan, right? It's got that goofy CVT, and it's got, well, might be the world's smallest backup camera. You better have good eyes in this baby, because they really cheaped out on that. Look at that thing. So here we go. It is relatively rough riding, 30-40% rougher than a RAV4. The main thing we want to see is how this CVT transmission works. Like I was saying, see, you can put it in, change the gears, but there are no gears, so it's fake. But see, the RPMs go up and down when you play with it. It really doesn't go any faster though. Here we go, and we'll hope we can make it in. Not that bad. Makes an awful lot of noise though. That's the problem with these CVTs. It's like a motorboat engine. It goes okay. It's not particularly slipping. Now, the guy that brought it over, he said, you know, it kind of felt like it shifted once. I said, yeah, that's the fake shift. So it's obviously off a little because he did not put it into the manual shifting. He was just driving it in the D. That's the automatic setting. So it's obviously a little bit off, but I mean, it's not bad. I don't like the way it performs by any stretch of the imagination. You get all that noise. Realize this is a Nissan 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine. It's a reasonably powerful engine, but hooked up to the CVT, guess what? It's a dog. So here we go again. We'll see what it does. And it's making a lot of noise. It is picking up, and you can feel the fake shift there. That's what he was talking about. It did a fake shift itself. Mainly probably because we were getting too high up in the RPM. I just decided to tone the engine down a little bit. I'm not a fan of this transmission. It is still working, but I'm just not a fan of these things. If you're like me and you hate plastic crap on your car, hey, this guy invented a fix. These Nissan Rogues, where instead of having to spend anywhere between $2,000 and $3,000 at the Nissan dealer, having the entire heater core and HVAC plastic assembly replaced because this stupid plastic piece on the blend door wallowed out, he has a kit so you can actually repair them on the car. So not only do you save the $1,000-something bucks that the assembly costs, but you don't have to tear the whole dash apart because you can just take the side off and you can repair this bad piece. Now, there's an idea that's worth looking into. Now, everybody knows I'm not a Nissan fan, but somehow Nissan has convinced over 2.2 million people in the United States and Canada to buy these things. And it turns out that their heater core has these crappy plastic blend doors. And you can see how this is wallowed out. This is the blend door actuator that actuates it, and you can see it's just spinning because this cheap piece of plastic wallowed out. It's a design flaw with these things. And now you can buy this actuator assembly, but that's not the problem. This part isn't what breaks. What breaks is this part in here, and it's built into the whole assembly. Now, it's called RenegadeSolutionsCompany.com. There it is. Ask questions. You want to watch some of his videos. He does have a cool logo, which shows it all. RenegadeSolutionsCompany.com. And if you know anything about marketing tools and products in the United States, it costs millions of dollars, which he doesn't have to throw into it. A real big thing for mechanics, because, hey, I mean, you can do it yourself, but a lot of mechanics, they don't know that something like this is out there. So now they know that it's out there. As I said, when the blend doors stop working, you don't get heat and air conditioning. You'd have to take all of this out, the entire blend door assembly, which itself costs anywhere between $1,000 and $1,600, and pay all that labor. Instead of that, you only have to take the side panel off. With this kit comes everything you need to fix the problem. Now, this is the factory actuator. You can see the gear is inside here. It's all one piece, right? And it's supposed to go here, but as you can see, it doesn't work anymore because it's wallowed out. But instead of having that one-piece gear, he has made a two-piece gear. So that the one piece will glue in here with super glue, that kit, and it comes with everything on it. And then when you put the actuator on, the new gear fits over the top like that. Voila. Now, he's done 171,000 cycles on these things. And the main thing is, if you don't know about blend doors, these move up and down so you can get heat, you can get air conditioning, defrost. And when they don't work, your car becomes a pain in the butt. And the best thing is, since this is all inside the car, inside the heater box, you have to take the heater box out. You don't even have to take it apart, because this part, all you're going to see is this over the big box in. When you take it off, you see that's broken. You don't have to take it all out. You just glue it in. And this kit has a very good explanation of everything. How you clean it, use a cleaner, because you got to clean plastic if you're going to super glue it, otherwise it won't stick. And then let it wait. You have to have patience. Now, I'll warn you. People these days have no patience. This is the one thing you got to understand. You're going to glue this thing in, right? And super glue. Oh, look at super glue. It's dried. No, it isn't. You put it on, hold it for 4 or 5 minutes, wipe off any excess. But it is not cured yet. You do something like this, what do you want? You want it to last forever. So, what do you have to do? You have to wait. So, my advice is, do it maybe in the afternoon. And then it's going to sit all night. You should wait 24 hours for it to fully cure, but at least 12 hours is going to be a heck of a lot better than glue it on, put it in, run it. No, it's going to get stress fractures. You got to realize all these glues, even that famous JB Weld Quick that I've been using for years, the 2-tube epoxy, right? If you look closely, it says sets in 15 minutes. But it'll also say that it cures in 24 hours. Top of your engine or something in a plastic part, and you use JB Weld. Don't put it on and drive it away 15 minutes later. You know, let it sit a day and dry. You got to have patience when you're using any type of glue. See, it's very good directions, and here's the picture. See, here's the whole heater box. Do you want to buy this whole heater box? No, it costs a fortune. It takes forever to take in and out. There is the little end sticking out. This part here. So it's very easy to access without tearing the whole thing apart. Now, the sad thing is it's a pattern failure on these things. A lot of them are breaking. And some people, sad but true, they'll hear this clicking, right? So they think, oh, it's just the actuator. Now, this stupid actuator, I priced one at Nissan. They're like $179 for this stupid thing, right? But if you buy it, you're just going to get the same factory thing, and it will be wallowed out inside there. After you spent that money, you got to special order it. They don't stock them. Then you'd put it in, and you'd find out it would still be making the same noise, and the door wouldn't be opening and closing. That's why the guy went through all the trouble of inventing this thing. I got to say, if more people did things like that, we could save everybody a whole bunch of money. Now, the only downside of this kit is this. Here's what it fits. The Rogues, 2014 to 2020, and the Sports 2017 to 2022. But that said, there's over 2.2 million of them in North America. People are driving around. So there's a lot of people out there that are going to have this problem. And if you go to the Nissan dealer and find out it's going to cost you thousands of dollars to fix it because of that stupid design, hey, a kit like this is going to really make you smile. And if anybody else has a product like this, hey, just email Scotty Kilmer at gmail.com. I test them out honestly and free, as I said earlier. If you're going to market a tool in the United States or a product like this, it could cost millions, and it would be absurd. You'd never recoup your investment. So if you have something like that, it's up to guys like me to show people, hey, look how you can save a whole bunch of money and help a guy out who invented a product that's really going to save people money, time. Hey, it's a win for everybody, except for Nissan. They don't get their $2,000 for ripping you off for something that they built poorly in the first place. You can save a fortune doing it, which is great for the poor people who got suckered into buying one of these things. As for the car itself, there's no way I'd buy one of these things because, one, I never buy new cars, so I'm not going to pay the price of even a new one of these. But as they get older, I would still pay extra for a RAV4 that might go 500,000 miles versus this thing with this ridiculous CVT transmission. Not a bad engine, but it just makes a lot of noise hooked up to that CVT transmission. Now you know about the car, and if you're stuck with one and they're telling you it's going to cost you a couple grand to fix your AC heating system, hey, contact these guys. Do it yourself or pay a mechanic to put that kit in, and you'll save a small fortune. And that's what it's about. Everybody helping everybody out. I mean, if you didn't listen to me and you went out and bought one of these things, at least I can help you with fixing this stupid thing. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.